You follow your sister's trail into the woods, hoping for answers. Instead, you find an empty visitor center, a guest book, and your own name on a missing poster. The night ends, then it begins again. You're not getting any closer to the truth. You're just sinking deeper in it. Tonight on Survive the Night podcast, we're bringing it back to Until Dawn. We're talking about the movie. All right, and it's done. We're back in doing a podcast. It feels like it's been a long time since you and I have done one. I don't actually remember the last one we did.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It would be a Marvel thing, I think. Maybe.
Are you sure it wasn't the Evil Dead stuff?
You're right. It was probably the Evil Dead stuff. That's right. Yeah, the Summer of Sam Raimi stuff. Where we did one like every week, actually, for a while.
Yeah,
there.
we were doing it regularly.
Yeah. No, that was fun.
I feel like we did one thing, maybe.
In between?
But I don't remember.
Yeah, it could be. Could be. It's weird because we're talking about it as if like, oh, it's been a while. But sequentially, this will come out right after the last time we did one. So it'll be a week for anybody new listening.
Hell yeah.
But for us, it's been like 2 years at least. So there's that. But more importantly, we kind of started off this series here with talking about Until Dawn back years and years ago, because you were a big fan of the game. I love the game as well. And I think I remember watching you play through it even, because it's one of the few that you streamed fully as well back then.
Yes, it's on my YouTube.
And yeah, it just seemed fitting that we get together and talk about this Until Dawn movie that came out semi-recently, this year, I'll say. But I just watched it about 3 weeks ago, and you just watched it this week. So,
yep.
Yeah, I've been wanting to talk about this thing because I was not expecting very much, and I will say I had a really good time with what we got, just as like kind of the preamble of how I felt about it. How did you kind of feel just going in and what you got?
Yeah, it's entertaining.
It is.
It's just fun.
Yeah.
Like, it's not my favorite thing in the world. It's not like incredible, but it's, it's fun. I had a good time.
There is a point where I feel like it loses the plot, and I was ready for it to be done. But luckily, it's the third act that it does it. So up until then, I was pretty in.
I have nitpicks, but mostly thumbs up.
Yeah. Going in, I wasn't sure what they were doing, so I kind of stayed away from people talking about this thing. I was under the impression maybe they were just going to do the game again. And I was kind of pleasantly surprised when it starts off completely different. So for anybody who doesn't remember the game kind of starts off with a group of kids doing this yearly retreat out in the cabin in the woods sort of thing up on a mountain. One of the kids gets bullied and gets lost or whatever and ends up dying. And that's kind of like the kickoff. The game takes place like a year later or whatever. And that's kind of the kickoff, where this is a character is in the woods and kind of like disappears or whatever, and we follow a group of 5 friends, and 2 of them I think are former lovers or something, and they're going to find one of the main character's sister is the one that kind of disappears at the beginning. So right off the bat, I was happy. It's not the same characters. It's not the same setting. Nothing is the same at all. So I was like, oh, okay, this is actually like a completely different thing. I'm totally in, because I didn't want the game again. Like, I didn't want a bad version of the game story going in.
Sure.
And then we get Peter Stormare, and I was like, oh, okay, there is some weird shit going on here.
Do get Peter Stormare.
Like, right from the beginning, too, as a gas station attendant, you're just like, there's something here, because that don't make sense.
Scooby-Doo ass villain showing up.
Pretty much.
Right, let's start.
Pretty much. And again, just to like call back to the game, Peter Stormare was Dr. Hill in the video game, who was the psychiatrist that was kind of talking to who you think is the character or whatever in the game. you find out is like I guess spoilers for the game and the movie going into this, just as a final warning or whatever. Dr. Hill in the game is a figment of Rami Malek's character's like psyche that is like kind of getting destroyed as the game goes on because he's a psychopath or whatever. And in this, he is very much a real thing that other people see, and he is a gas station attendant. So, but like right from the get-go, I didn't know if it was just a cute little callback. It's like, oh, Peter Stormare is like the gas station clerk who tells them that like, yeah, I saw that girl go up to that weird hotel area or whatever. Maybe you should check there. But like, of course, they wouldn't cast him in a 2-minute role because that's stupid. So in the back of my mind, just like, I wonder how this is going to play out the whole time.
No, totally. Like he became a much bigger part of the movie than I expected. Because from this, I didn't know anything going in. Yeah, really. I didn't really. But when it started, I was like, okay, they're not. This isn't really. They're not really adapting the game. They're making. They're doing their own thing. Yeah. If they're adapting anything, they're adapting the poster.
Yes.
For the game.
Yep. With the hourglass or whatever with the skull in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, then some stuff happens at the end. The later on, it's like, oh, maybe you did like at least know some stuff about the game. Okay. Okay, I see you, movie.
Yeah, that's kind of
but
what
mostly
was interesting.
It's like, you know, being adapting video game horror thing.
Yeah.
And that, you know, hourglass poster.
Yeah.
More than it's like, you know, is doing what Until Dawn originally did.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like a story.
Yeah. No, it's a cool little setup that they got going on there, and kind of immediately they kind of tell you like don't expect the game or whatever, like with their setup, and that's great. So the gas station, Peter Stormare tells them maybe you should check out Glore Valley. That's where people go missing or whatever. Your sister might have been one of them. They go up there. That's not too far out of the way, I guess, from where they are there. And right away, they find this, like, is it like a hotel? Like a bed and breakfast type hotel, like a small hotel, not like a giant one. Like somebody's home that was bed and breakfast type
I mean, it just seems like someone's home, except there's a sign-in book.
Yeah, there's a sign-in book, that's right. So they decide to check this place out. They see a bunch of names written down in the sign-in book. And nothing seems too out of place until one of the characters goes into a back room and sees this pinup board with just like the most obviously like hidden. So the pinup board has all these like gone missing posters, but you can see them like behind this other stuff so that the character can have the moment of like, oh my God, what is this? It's like, yeah, it's obvious that there was like stuff underneath that paper that had nothing on it or whatever. It was so weird. Such a weird reveal moment. And from there, it just kind of turns into this like, oh, something's going on here. Oh my God, her name was in this book and everybody wrote in this book a bunch of times and their writing get worse and worse every time. And then there's like an attack basically with...
Also like the rain is like edged right to outside the...
Right, instead of a snowstorm.
A wall of rain.
It's like a rainstorm.
And the clouds are like in a circle around the area.
Yeah, kind of making it so that it obscures vision from where they came from, so they can't like see through the woods or the road anymore. They're just kind of stuck in this little area.
Although one of the characters sees someone outside in the rain.
Yeah.
Which is weird if that's the cutoff, but whatever.
Yeah.
Who cares?
They just like, it's like the Silent Hill fog type of thing. They just disappear into it essentially.
You're telling me it's Silent Hill?
They unload out or whatever. Anyways, so these clues start coming together that there are a whole bunch of people have been lost or missing, and they like, this might have been where they went missing. And at that moment, they kind of get attacked by a man in a mask. This is kind of like the first callback to the game, I guess. It's the same like weird half clown killer mask sort dude that's in the game that you find out is just the one dude screwing with them at the end.
Yeah, although this masked dude, like his like lower, his mouth is like fucked up.
Yes, yeah. Also, may or may not be real because he gets like they get the jump on him a few times and try to like fight back, and he just doesn't flinch or anything. Where in the game he is very much a real human being in a mask. So this is like a paranormal entity or something.
It feels like they're fighting Jason Voorhees.
Yes,
like specifically.
It's very Jason-y for sure. And I think the initial shock with this attack is that he actually murders all of them. Like they all die in a pretty brutal way. And it's like, oh,
very
what?
Funny that how many of them think like, nah, I got this.
Yeah,
I can kick him. I'm gonna hit him over the head with this chair. That's gonna do it.
And like you would think it would. If it was a dude, it would for sure. But yeah, no, this is something else. So he murders all of them, and then the clock basically like turns back, sort of thing, and you're like, holy shit, this is Groundhog Day. They're doing Groundhog Day. That's what they're doing here.
It's Happy Death Day.
Yeah, they're doing the Happy Death Day thing. So you find out that the whole like thing they're doing with Until Dawn is that they have to survive here until dawn, quote unquote. And that's when they could like go free, but they're stuck in this loop essentially. And
survive the night.
They literally say that in there, and I was like, oh right, we got to do a podcast. Oh right.
They say it more than once.
Yeah, if you survive the night. Yeah, exactly. That's right. And so what ensues from there is just like, this is a setup. We're going to watch these kids die many times over and over again, and it's so good. It's so great.
There's a thing where these kids like those movies.
Yeah.
But then unlike Happy Death Day, they don't literally say Groundhog Day. This character can't remember the name of that movie. But then immediately stuff is different. So he's like, oh, so it's not like those movies.
Right. It's actually more like a video game, weirdly enough. The structure of it is very video game-ish, like a roguelite or something. Yes. So, yeah, there's just a whole bunch of death. Actually, we don't really know how many times they've gone through this. We find out, I think it might be at the beginning or it might be somewhere in here, that they kind of figure out the most times people have written in the logbook that they're visiting is 13. So they're kind of like, have this number in their head, like nobody has survived the 13th loop. So they're trying to kind of like get through this whole thing so that they can be freed or whatever. So I don't remember specifically what order the like different things happen in. I think the next one I will say is the main girl, Clover, gets like sucked into this witch's hut or whatever. And that's kind of where they do some weird exposition stuff about you have to survive the night or whatever and blah, blah, blah. Like that witch kind of tells what's going on, or at least something like that, and then murders her with some gas.
The first thing is like the girl who's psychic like gets super possessed.
Yes, right.
And like says a bunch of shit and then like just dies.
Yeah.
Like twists herself into death.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, don't let it in. So they're like, okay, we can't open the door. And then they hear the girl's sister like out there and screaming, and then she opens the door. And the one guy's kind of like a dick about it, like, no, don't open the door, you stupid. She said don't open it. They open it and then no one's there. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah. It has been a little bit, so I don't remember the specific things. I do remember the girl that is quote-unquote psychic. I kind of like how they played that, too, where it's like, oh, yeah, she, like, has these feelings or whatever, and she's just kind of like the hippy-dippy friend, but at this point, it's like, oh, no, she actually, like, can feel an evil presence, and it takes her over and fucks her up. It's so good. Mm-hmm. It's so funny to me.
The one guy is like, I now believe you that you're psychic.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, that was good. The one that I want to get to is at some point they just lock themselves in the bathroom. They're like, we're just gonna wait out the night here. That like we just need to survive. I'm sure I'm thirsty, so let's have some water or whatever. And
cursed water.
A bunch of them drink the water, and then just start exploding. And it was at that moment I was like, oh, this is something special. This is great.
It's so stupid. It's so dumb.
Yeah, it's really, really fucking stupid.
Like, what if you just blew up?
I loved that it was just intensely gory and just gross, but I hate that that's kind of, for me, maybe the like apex of like what I wanted from this, because they never go that stupid again. And that's kind of a shame, because for me, that was like the moment that they had me. I was like, oh, this is just like this weird haunted house thing where they're going to consistently die in weird and wacky ways. And the ways get less wacky going on, which is unfortunate.
I think that it actually limits it when they set up that like there's the limit. Like they're only they're not gonna die that many times. This isn't Groundhog Day. They're not gonna like become
like over and over,
like weird gods where they've died thousands of times or whatever.
Right.
They're gonna like become a monster after like 12.
Right.
They start growing like extra teeth and getting long fingernails or whatever.
Oh yeah, that's
like,
right.
Like 2 times.
Every loop they start getting like changed somewhat in some way or whatever. Isn't it like?
Yeah.
Maybe even the one girl.
They set up that idea. They don't really do that much with it.
They don't at all, which is really weird.
Like the girls, like basically nothing happens to them.
Yeah.
Like that one guy has like his spine has like the bones poking out of it in the last loop, but that's basically it.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
It's mostly just explaining the monster people.
Yeah. There is kind of a fun moment when like they're all into this, like, yeah, this is what's happening thing, where they start having the discussion like we would maybe in a video game of like, okay, let's just reset, just fucking kill me. Like, just slit my throat. Like, let's just do this right again the next time. And I kind of like that. It's like, okay, just fucking kill me. Like, let's just do it again or whatever. So that's fun. At some point they find a VHS tape and they kind of get information about what's going on. They see the gas station attendant, or no, wait, isn't it just her that maybe sees the gas station attendant? The Peter Stormare character? Is it first only her that like sees him or notices him or talks to him or whatever? Or is that later? I can't remember. Oh my god. Or does she see him on the TV?
Yeah, everyone else is dead and she's like lying on the ground and he walks in.
Right.
Before she explodes. When everyone else has exploded because they drank the water.
Right.
So he's like peering over her when she blows up.
Right. And that's kind of the first instance of like, okay, that dude.
Because on that loop, they almost made it. Like the sands are almost all the way through.
Oh, yeah, you're right. And he even says something like, you're not going to make it just sitting around or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, anyways, like, besides the death stuff, we kind of find out what's going on with him. Is he Dr. Hill in this as well? Like, is it the same name? I don't actually know. I don't remember. I think it's the same name. Either way, it's the same character, essentially.
It is Dr. Hill.
Interesting. Yeah, okay. So he is literally the same character from the video game, but in this, instead of being a weird figment of the main character's imagination, trying to like talk him through like this weird like psychotherapy or whatever, like in the game, and finding out what his fears are, and kind of like the game alters around your choices as the player or whatever. He's kind of an antagonist and he's real in this, which is kind of a weird, interesting choice. And he's putting through an experiment where he's trying to create Wendigos, essentially, for some reason. What is the reasoning? I don't remember. Like, why? Why is he making monsters? Just because he can?
It's just what he studies. It's just, that's his thing.
Yeah, okay, sure. We also find out that whole area that we think is just like a bed and breakfast hotel sort of thing is actually like a town like a mining town that was engulfed by the earth. And so there's like this whole town underneath the surface of the earth. And that's kind of where like he's watching over them on a bunch of cameras. And there's a whole like network of houses that connect to each other and a laboratory where he's doing his experiments, like a hospital sort of thing. And that's kind of how they connect all that shit. Like the game kind of does something similar, but in that it isn't underground. It is just there is an underground like mine shaft or whatever that connects to a mental asylum or something for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's also a point where the characters just say, because they like just, they just like figure it out. Clearly, the reason it's different every night is so that it'll keep being scary. Because if it were the same all the time, it wouldn't be as scary.
Right. So that's kind of like... That's kind of the mean bean machine here. Dr. Hill's like freak machine is that he's trying to keep them scared because that's what's turning them into the Wendigos. Intense fear is what's going to turn them or whatever.
Which I don't know that like as a nitpick, I don't know that I buy that when like the third time they're just like, yeah, just fucking kill me. Let's just reset.
Yeah, they're not scared anymore. For sure. They just want to get through. They're almost puzzling it through at that point.
They don't really stay scared.
No, they don't.
That long.
No.
I don't think there's enough variety. Even though things are different.
I agree. It's actually when you kind of find out what's going on with Dr. Hill. So one of the characters it doesn't loop.
Like some of the variety they yada over.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
The annihilation watching your phone bit.
Yeah. And that's so where it starts losing steam for me is one of the times the loop doesn't happen because they aren't all dead. One of the characters kind of like got away from the like whatever's happening or whatever and is missing. So they go looking for her, the Asian lady or whatever, kind of gets away. And they find her phone or something like that. Like, so they know she's alive and that she knows something. So they're trying to find her and find out what's going on. And that's kind of like the start of the third act. And this is kind of where I think it loses a lot of steam. Because this is where we find out about the story stuff with Dr. Hill. We find the underground network of the town that's underground and Wendigos everywhere. It's a little disappointing to me that they went with Wendigos again when they were so clearly wanting to do their own thing. Like they had to tie it back or something. Like I didn't think they needed to do that. Like they've done Wendigos. It would have been cooler if they did something completely different here in this different medium. But that being said, there are literally the don't move moments on screen where there's just a character like right up against the camera, just like sitting there being as quiet as they can. And in the background, you just see like the Wendigo looking around. It's like, this is taken right from the fucking game.
There's also a scene of a character like over like a glass like skylight that's also like directly from the game.
Yeah, there's a lot of Easter eggs from the game, which were pretty cool. I like that. It's fun. But
no, it was fun because I just felt, because going in I was like, did the screenwriter even like watch a playthrough of this game?
Right.
And then like with the Easter eggs, at least it's like, okay, somebody working on it like saw the game.
There are people that made this that definitely have reverence for that source material for sure, because there's too many callbacks, either secretly or overtly, for them not to be, right? But yeah, like it becomes too real at that point, and I kind of liked the weird looping. Like every time there's a loop, there's a different thing that might kill them or whatever. Like that's what I was into. I was super into that, and they didn't push that far enough. I agree. And then they just kind of stop it completely for the Wendigo story for the ending.
Yeah, and they jump to this is our final loop. And then everyone has plot armor.
Right. All of a sudden they don't die or can't
Literally,
die
they all have plot armor for the rest of the movie.
Yeah, and they try to like pretend like there isn't plot armor because there's a line before that's like, you can't get out of this loop without somebody dying. That's kind of like the big thing holding over. Like, who are you going to choose to die to get out of here?
I mean, that was pretty obviously. Well, we've got the Peter Stormare's right there.
Yeah, so I mean,
we got this guy.
We got this guy that we don't want to live, so this is going to be pretty easy, actually.
Yeah. Two birds, one stone.
The way she does it is pretty great, I will say, though. Like,
oh, it's so funny.
It's so good. There's like a leaky pipe when he's kind of doing his villain monologue, basically. She pushes his coffee cup under the leaky pipe so that the like poison blow up water gets into it, and then when he takes a sip, he kind of like realizes as she's looking at him that what happened, and he just fucking explodes. It's so good. It's so stupid. Like, what a stupid movie, to be honest.
It's really dumb. It's very funny to me that like that whole conversation is like setting up like, this is Silent Hill. It's all about what's in your mind.
Yeah, totally.
And then he's like, the spontaneous combustion thing, that's kind of dumb, but I guess that's how your mind works.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. So I think the thing that I find interesting is, like you said, they obviously know about the game, and they do some fun tie-ins with like this meta commentary of what's going on, where the game is very much about what scares you as the player so that we can weirdly incorporate it in a cutscene or something to see if maybe we can like tailor this to your fears or whatever. And he's part of Rami Malek's character's mind as he's like losing it. And this movie kind of takes that where like we don't have agency or choice as the viewer. So it has to be a little bit more grounded, but they still do the player thing with the characters in the movie where it's playing on their fears and all that sort of bullshit or whatever. And to be honest with you, I'm not fully convinced that Peter Stormare and what was happening actually wasn't in Clover's mind the whole time, because like you could easily just be like hand wave that off if you're the creator and say like, no, this is all just like a fever dream or something. Like there's no reason you couldn't, because none of it makes sense anyway. But like,
well, there is one of the he does have a file on his desk that's of Rami Malek's character from the first game.
Yeah, he does. And it kind of ends on this, like, there's a CCTV video shot of that crew going up to the cabin and, like, going in or whatever. And that's kind of where it, like, cuts to black. Like, oh, the game's about to happen now or whatever. So, I don't know.
Another loop.
Yeah, it's just another loop. That's right. But it got me excited because if you take this idea, you could do Until Dawn shit forever, where it's just looping these different horror things, like a big anthology, and I'm into that. Like, I want big, stupid horror things.
Yeah, I kind of felt like, in theory, this would be called, like, Dark Anthologies, the movie, but that brand isn't as big.
Right, yeah. Is there, like, a copyright thing? Like, why can't they use Until Dawn and then just have all of those?
I mean, it's probably just because Until Dawn was big enough that that's what got, licensed or whatever. Right.
But like this theory that all of the supermassive stuff could live together as one big anthology under the same name, like it kind of can't, because that's the thing tying them together, though. I don't want it to be Wendigos. Like, you guys have done this. You should stop and do something else. And I thought they were, until they weren't.
Yeah, I think it's also because it's like, it's not just it's like PlayStation owns, Sony owns it.
Yeah.
And this is a Sony thing.
Yeah.
That's why it's like Until Dawn and not this thing that Supermassive like owns itself.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
Maybe.
But for having like no expectations going into this movie, I had a very good time in a way I wasn't expecting to. I was kind of expecting it to be a slog, to be honest.
There's some Evil Dead-ish vibes to some of the early stuff.
Yep.
In that lobby. There's that very stupid, funny part of like the door keeps opening and he keeps walking over to close it.
Yep.
And then it opens again.
Yeah, it would have been nice to see every loop though fully. Like they could have padded out the time a little bit.
No, that thing of them watching it on their phone is like, it's like extremely, just reminded me of that scene in Annihilation when they're watching the phone of the people who've been there before.
Yeah.
But like the fact that we're just getting like tastes of these, like that is good, but also like, I don't know, you could have done more than just our characters all spontaneously combust after drinking some water. I don't know.
That's like the highlight for me though, because I love that bit so much.
It's so dumb. Well, and then like the way they like, it becomes like the thing. Like it's not just like the way they beat the villain. There's also the part where like Clover gets Max to like slit her throat, and he does, and then she's like dying, and then he like sees the Wendigo sister like is caught up to them, so he like just takes a couple sips of water from like a leaking thing, and then he goes like, "Fuck you," and explodes.
Yeah, God, it's so stupid.
Fun. It's very dumb.
Yeah. I think the water thing was introduced too soon. That should have been like one of the last ones because it's such a fun little gag to me.
I just like, I think one of my complaints was also just like that they fucking all live at the end. Like they just fucking win.
Yeah, yeah. And like it's weird because they survive until dawn and just everything is totally fine. Like the rain clears up, the clouds part or whatever, and they can just drive home. It's like, well, that's weirdly anticlimactic, but I guess it's what they were promised, so it's hard to be mad about it, I guess. But yeah, they just drive away, like totally fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That ending feels really tacked on.
Undercuts the horror.
It does, yeah. I just feel like the ending is super like tacked on feeling just in general. Like it's a completely different movie. Yeah.
It feels like studio cowardice.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I'm not a fan of it. I don't think there's any other like huge memorable moments as well. Like a lot of times they die by like someone else's hand. I think that's why the water thing got me, because it's like just some stupid paranormal thing and not a dude in a mask or like someone like possessing and killing them. You know what I mean?
I really like early on when the one dude's being kind of a dick and his girlfriend just fucking stabs him.
Yeah, that's pretty great.
That was sick.
Yeah.
It's like, calm the fuck down, buddy. And like he's not dead, he's just like slowly like bleeding on the ground. And then when the fucking killer comes later, she's like, him first. And he's like, what?
And he listens. That's the best part. The killer actually is like, yeah, all right. Sure.
Yeah, sure. That sounds fair to me.
Oh, man. No, it's actually, yeah, it's pretty funny.
But yeah, like, and like by the end, like the three characters, they're just like kicking the shit out of that guy. Also. Like they get a sledgehammer, they fucking dome him.
Yeah. Oh man, the water death with, I don't even remember her name unfortunately, but the one where like her stomach just keeps expanding and that's how she explodes. Like just gnarly. It's just fucking gross. It's so good. I think
that's Megan.
Okay, she's the Asian lady, right? Megan?
Yes.
Yeah. She's great. She's one out of that group. She's probably my favorite. I like her a lot. I don't much care for the main character, actually, but you know,
sure.
She's whatever. She's nondescript young woman, so Clover. There's nothing special about her. Clover, yeah. It is weird to me that they introduced.
I was thinking like, fucking. Actually, now I'm fucking blanking on that movie.
Which one?
Like the murder game one.
Saw?
That was like, no.
Murder game.
Ready or Not?
Oh, Ready or Not. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, you're not fucking. You're no girl. You're no fucking Samara Weaving from Ready or Not.
Oh, totally. Well, she's awesome. Ready or Not's great, but it's carried by her for sure. That movie is the wrong casting away from being garbage, and they did very well. For sure.
Yeah.
No, she's just so
it's just doing the thing of like the normal girl who then's like being badass by the end or whatever. But it's like it's just not as good as other movies that have done this.
Totally,
it's fine.
No, yeah, it's totally fine. Like, there's nothing special, nothing bad about her, I would say. It is weird to me that they introduce this idea that each time that they go through or whatever, they're slowly, like, going through a metamorphosis. And, like, by the time they're at, like, the 12th or 13th or whatever, they're not fully, like, mostly monster. Like, why even introduce this idea then, if you're not going to go full bore with it? They're not even half monster.
It feels undercooked.
It does, yeah. But, okay, let's talk this through for a second. Is it because that's the fear doing that, and at some point they're not afraid anymore, they're trying to get through it? Like, is that maybe how you could hand wave that away of, like, well, yeah, they stopped transforming because they're not afraid, they're pissed off and trying to get through this bullshit, essentially. Like, maybe? That's how I would if I was a writer. Because, I don't know. I don't think
their squad energy is too powerful.
It's weird how
they never feel hopeless.
It's weird how they were so tight knit, to be honest with you, because you don't usually see that in like a horror movie like this. They usually break down, and there are parts in this where they do and they attack each other. But maybe we would all be better if we could kill people that piss us off in the moment. If you just stab the one guy who's being a dick, and say, calm the fuck down. Yeah. Everything's better. And then he did. I think he was kind of better like the whole movie after that.
He was chiller. After that, he chilled out.
And that's fair.
He was not trying to like drive away.
Yeah.
There is the part where they drive away and there's that weird giant monster thing out in the rain.
Yeah. Is it a Wendigo then that like gets her at the beginning? I'm guessing so, right? The sister. I'm guessing that's what got her. I don't remember.
I think it's the masked dude.
Oh,
you see the masked dude.
It's the masked dude. Okay, yeah. I just don't remember. Don't remember at all. So does the masked dude exist? Do you think, or is he like a figment of their imagination?
No. Well, Peter Stormare says like mass killers. That's common.
I guess.
Spontaneous combustion, that's rare.
And they kill him by all lifting up the giant sledgehammer.
Yeah.
So, like, they do get him, but I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know that any of them seem to have a particular fear of mass killers that, like, was being triggered.
Yeah, and then going on the fear thing, why does the water explode them? Were they afraid that, like, if they drink water, they'll explode? Like, how does that work? I don't understand.
It's a representation of self-destructive behavior.
Okay.
I think that's what Peter Stormare says. I don't remember. He's really trying to hand wave it.
Does he say that? I don't remember. He might.
Think so. He says stuff because he makes a point of saying like that one's not normal. That was weird.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it is. It's standoutish for sure.
I haven't seen that one before. You got some shit going on, lady.
So, okay, what is this? What implications do you think this has for this general world? Does that mean Until Dawn, the Wendigos also were just existed because like somebody was afraid of it and they continuously like propagated after that? But like, I don't understand what this means. It kind of changes stuff.
I think the idea is that like it's like Silent Hill-y that this weird town exists. But Peter Stormare's character like became such a part of it.
Yeah.
That he's just doing this Wendigo shit because he's into it.
It seems that way.
Yeah, like, that's how it feels.
Yeah. And like the thing is that when they introduced the Wendigo in Until Dawn, I was stoked because the Wendigo is a monster that never before then really got its time of day. It's a really cool folklore, and it kind of fit with like the theme of that whole area. That took place, if I remember, like close to home here for me in the mountains of like Alberta or whatever. So like there's definitely an indigenous like folklore-ish quality to that, and like Wendigos in general didn't get a lot of representation, so that was cool as shit back then. But now it's like
it was also
you guys are really doing that again
in that game because it was a weird obsession with the guy who wrote that game because he wrote the movie Wendigo.
Sure,
before that,
right? Yeah. Does he have anything to do with this? Do you know?
I don't think so.
Okay,
he did any writing on this
because like I don't know, it just feels cheap. Like you're just drawing from the well again, even though you kind of did your own thing for like the first hour here. So I don't know, that sucks to me. That's boring.
I mean, it does just feel like a reference.
Yeah, I guess because they needed something to chase them.
It's a Leo pointing at the screen meme or whatever.
It is for sure, but the problem is that they have the whole like ending based on it. I mean, zombies would have been better in my opinion. Like at least it's different in this universe for them, or just something. I don't know, mole people. What's something that lives underground? Moles, rats.
Yeah, I don't know why you didn't really have to put a label on it. They're just like fear demons.
Totally. Yeah. Even like shadows or something. Isn't there a smoke monster in this? Am I making that up, or is there a smoke monster, or is that like what possesses what's her name? Maybe I don't remember.
I don't think there's a smoke monster.
There should be a smoke monster.
They get possessed and their eyes go black, and then there's one. When they're watching on the phone stuff, there's a thing where there's like a masked creature standing in a doorway, and then as it starts stepping to them, it gets really big, and it's like all black.
Okay, maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
Before it cuts.
And there's a part with like gas, right, that kills them as well, or something. Wasn't that like the witch's breath, like breathes a bunch of gas into her or something? I can't remember. There's so
she
many
has like
things.
her oxygen tank, and she makes her breathe from her oxygen tank.
That's right. That's
and
what
then
it
turns
is.
to dust.
That's what it is. Yeah. Man, I feel bad for the one dude who like isn't really part of this group. He's just dating the one girl. He's like,
sure.
I think actually, isn't he the asshole? Now that I think about it.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I mean,
I kind of get where he's coming from.
He's not friends with these people.
Yeah, no, I get where he's coming from. It's like, fuck these people.
Yeah, she's like, these are the only people that matter to me in my life.
Right.
It's like, but we could leave. There's a car out there.
Yeah, I guess like at the point that they got there, they no longer could though, right? That's kind of like the idea with the rain or whatever.
Yeah, and his thing is reasonable. It's like, a possessed girl told us we can't leave. We should at least try to leave.
Totally.
See if that works. Gather the intel.
Like, especially when they know that if they die, they just restart. Like, why wouldn't you try? You're not losing anything. I guess you're losing a loop that you could, I don't know, kill each other or whatever. They weirdly kill each other a decent amount.
Yeah.
Do you think if humanity learned that if we killed each other, we would just restart the day, that more people would just lash out and kill each other all the time?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, I think so too. And then at that point, would there even be laws against it? There'd be fines, maybe, because they like to nickel and dime you for everything, but there probably wouldn't be laws against it if there was no finality to death.
Well, you're going to wake up in the time before you did that. So who do you care? They find whatever's left of your husk or whatever.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, man. The implications are interesting to me because, like, I kind of liked that they play a little bit with that in the movie of when they find out that there's no, like, real loss. like, yeah, they just like turn on each other or like just kill themselves or whatever, and it's fine. Because I think that's very clearly what humanity would do. That's a very human thing. It's like, well, there's no consequence, so I'm just going to shoot my friend or whatever, and we'll try this again. Weird. Overall, I think I wasn't...
it is kind of weird that the character who's set up to have tried to actually kill herself twice, it's like a weird joke where she's like, come on, just slit my throat. Come on, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's a little...
And they feel it though, right?
Insensitive.
They feel the death.
Yeah. Uh-huh. That's
sucks.
That's supposed to be part of what's transforming them. It's like the horror of death.
Of dying, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But none of our heroes started like then chomping on organs of people they murdered.
They should have. They should have is the problem.
So at least one of them should have become a Wendigo. Like, come on. They all get plot armor?
Did none
One
of them?
character gets to walk away. Haven't you seen a horror movie? God damn it.
Yeah, no, like definitely.
They get possessed, and it's weird to me even that like they get possessed with like the dark black eyes, and then when they die, that just like
it goes away or whatever.
Expunged, and they're just fine again. Like I really didn't expect when the psychic girl when Megan got like possessed. I thought like that would be a GG for her. That character would be done for real.
Yeah.
But then she was just fine.
She becomes like a mini boss or something in this video game movie.
Yeah, like another thing trying to kill them.
So like what is the witch that like we see on day 2 or loop 2 or whatever? I don't understand. Is she just Oh no, aren't a bunch of them like they theorize some of the lost people, the missing people, like possessed souls kind of just stuck in this loop or whatever. Like maybe it's one of them or one of their fears or whatever.
Some of them become Wendigos, but she was like, I think she was here from when the town got.
You're right. Because that's her house that they're in. And she's like watching TV, which makes sense. That's what I do in my house. So I get it. That's fine.
When I go to Silent Hill, I watch TV.
I'm gonna watch some TV, watch the news or whatever. Yeah, it is disappointing to me that this doesn't take place near my house in like Alberta. That's a big knock against it. That was one of the things I thought was super cool. It's like I could drive there and die. That's awesome for the game. Like I could go there. There's nothing out there. That's a fake area, but you know. That's cool that they mention it or whatever. Yeah. I don't know. It was just fun to me that this thing that I kind of was like, yeah, I should watch this because I watch video game movies all the time, and maybe like I'll have an opinion on it. Turned out to be this like fun, like pointing out, oh, there's Peter Stormare. Oh, there's this weird water blow up part. Oh, there's the Wendigo. Like it turned into this kind of fun, like, hour and a half, 2 hour thing where I was seeing how they were almost remixing these ideas from the game, both like the meta commentary part of horror and whatnot, and also just straight up some of the monsters and like shots and everything into this new medium and seeing what they do with it. And I just thought that was kind of neat. And that's kind of why I wanted to talk about it, bring it full circle back.
I do think it helps that it's not 2 hours. It's only 100 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. Would you have minded if it was longer if they had drawn out those loops properly?
If they had done cool shit, I guess I would have been fine. But I do think there's like real benefit to a movie at this level being shorter. Just like just get out. Like you're done.
Yeah. No, that's true. That's true.
Like when you're trash, you don't need to be 2 hours. Give me those 20 minutes back.
Yeah. You know what would be cool? How I would make this cool is if every loop you gave to a different like master of horror director to direct that like 15 to 20 minute like short film loop. That would be sick. Like let's say the first one is like Tom Savini or something, right? He gets to do the first loop. The second loop, maybe Wes Craven gets to like direct that. Like that would be, first of all, expensive as shit, surely, but it would be so fucking cool to see just like an anthology of how these kids die over and over by a bunch of different horror directors. I think that would be so sick. They should do that. They should hire me to do this because, you know, I have the contacts. I don't know.
Hire me to tell them to do this.
They can have this one for free. You know, if they do it, they can have it for free. I'm putting it out on wax right now saying it. They can have it for free. It's a good idea. And expensive, probably. Probably very expensive. I don't really have anything else to say about this movie, but I think if you like that game, you should watch this because it's fun. But I don't necessarily know that if you don't, you would miss out not watching this. Like, there's a dime a dozen horror movies that do kind of fun, weird death things like that. But for me, I think it's because it has the light ties to the game, and I just wanted to see how they use that source material that made it interesting enough to keep going through. And I was pleasantly surprised that at the end of the day, I didn't hate it. That's kind of my final thought on it. What about you?
Yeah, I had a fine time watching a horror movie. It ended. There are parts that are stupid. There are parts that are stupid in great ways.
Yep. True. Very true. Okay.
Someone should have one of our main characters should have died. It's crazy. These kids just get to live. Back in my day,
kids
horror movie
died.
Characters fucking died, and then if they did live, they died. It became clear in the post credits that they were fucked.
Oh man, what if they leave, and then you know how there's like a follow up, like this person went on to do this, this person went on to do this. What if like they drive away, they show the thing, and then it's just like later that night they all realized they had terminal cancer from radiation from that area and they died tragically in their sleep.
No. Their car just should have turned into the Freddy Krueger car.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Or even just blown up or something. Like, just make it quick and easy. Who cares? They just need to die. Oh, yeah, because the implication now is that there's people that know about this area existing. So, like, do they just start trying to warn people? Like, you can't leave people to warn people about the evil. That's no good.
Mm-hmm.
It needed to consume them. Yeah, no, I agree with you. They should have died. They should have died, for sure. All right. Thanks for listening. I know it's been a while, but it's been fun to do another one of these. And stay tuned because I believe Nathan and I are talking about the Terrifier movies coming up soon. And that'll be hard. That'll be hard to discuss because those movies are disgusting. But it should be interesting, and I'm looking forward to that. Thank you for joining me with on this podcast. I felt it was necessary to talk about Until Dawn.
Yeah, I had a great time.
Awesome.
Happy to do it.
All right, see you next time.